Greetings all, this is Malik Asad Jafar, and today we're going to be going into a question, if you will, not necessarily a topic. The question is second chances. Do you give second chances when you're in love? Let's get right into it.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question. Serious.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I think before going into the obvious statements that, you know, people are fishing for and looking for, I want to first ask, if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll see what I have said about the word love. And when you define the word love, it is a form of an attachment. Okay? So, having said that, I'll first present this. When it comes to being in love with a person, what exactly is it about this person that I am attached to? And whatever it is that I'm attached to, is it problematic? Brief example would be, you've got these two people. They were hanging out. They were partying. They met in the bar. They really kicked it. Were drinking about the same amount. You know, went home and hooked up. And weeks turned to months and months turned to years. And they realized, they loved them right off the bat. But what were they attached to when it came to that person? Was it the person itself, or was it that you had a drinking buddy? So if your attachment to that person is something that is problematic or counterproductive, you have to really question that love or that attachment. That's the first thing. Okay? So to summarize what I just said, you have to understand that when I am in love with a person, is what I'm in love with beneficial and productive and progressive for my lifestyle? Is it going to help me grow as a person? Or is what I am in love with about this person, is this attachment something negative and counterproductive and actually creating a detriment in my life? And if I can't see any physical thing, try looking in the mental. I'm just saying, there's some people who use you as a whooping post or a person or an energy for them to bleed, for them to deal with, for them to make themselves feel better, and then I feel protected or I feel secure in our relationship because of this dynamic. When in fact, you two guys, I figuratively speaking, of course, the two people, the male and the female, are not equally yoked emotionally. That is. Okay, so that's the aspect when it comes to the love portion. Now let's go into second chances. When we talk about second chances, most times people are thinking that the second chance means I'm giving that person a second chance. Here's a theory. Here's just something that you might want to think about. Instead of giving that person a second chance, how about give me a second chance? You follow what I'm saying? Like, for example, if both parties took this point of view, and I'll explain what the point of view is, there would be, I would say, a pretty healthy situation. And what is the point of view? I am going to give myself a second chance to do better in this dynamic. If both parties took that point of view about what they could do better about the relationship, sure, give each other a second chance. Both parties working on the things that make them better people for the relationship, and it should blossom and prosper. But if it's still not, then you're probably not meant to be together. You know, when you are unselfishly looking at what I can do in this relationship to make things better, if we're going to, because you've gone through the gambit before and you've seen how things work before. So this time when I look at the second chance, these are the things that I'm going to do better. I'm not giving that person a second chance to break my heart, or I'm not giving that person a second chance to do something that is problematic to my self-esteem. You know, I'm not going to give that person that. But people only do what you let them do. So when you decide, because people make it a really big issue about taking second chances with someone that they were in a relationship with, and everybody and their mama want to tell you about the bad faults and everything else that happened. Remember why you broke up in the first place? Yeah, I get that. And then there's some obvious cases where you should not have a second chance. Okay, but when you're in a position of where it's debatable, when you're kind of on the fence about whether or not I should give this person a second chance, definitely take into consideration what I could have done differently in this relationship to make things better. We've had people who talk about arguments and things like that. Let's see. Oh, here's a great one. Two people are together, right? And one of the people can't stand their own parents. Okay? They can't stand their mother. They're always arguing about their mother. And anytime you like their mother, and anytime you bring their mother's name up, it always goes to the same place. They start fussing about what the mother didn't do, or what the parent didn't do, or what the father didn't do, and all this and that. And it goes, and you've got all this negative energy swirling around because of something that was brought up. How about this? In regards to second chances, if you looked at situations in the past and you see that you have had arguments before because of that subject, don't bring up that person. Okay? Don't bring up that individual in the conversation, debate, or anything else. And if it does come up, change the subject as soon as possible. Now, let me digress, because what I want you to understand is that I just gave that example, but there are plenty other examples that a person had. Persons have had in a relationship that they need to reconsider what they could have done differently, even if in their hearts of hearts they think it was clearly their problem. Man mad because a woman cheated and so on and so forth, but he just loves her and all this and that. He wants to give her a second chance. Well, I tell you this, if he was in a position to have someone cheat on them, apparently there was some type of attention that was needed from someone else. And if that be the case, step your game up and give them more attention. Give them more of what it is they need so that they don't step out. Oh, but she cheated. How could I do so? Man, bump that. Look at yourself. Okay, look at yourself and address what you could have done differently about the situation. Oh, and here's the great part about it. When you start to focus on giving a person a second chance, if you cannot look at what you need to do in regards to yourself to have things different in the relationship, then that tells you don't need to give them a second chance. So, food for thought. Just something to think about, on this wonderful overcast day. Love days like this. It's cold, as you can see my scarf here, but while y'all are out there and wherever you are watching this video, be safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Bam.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.